Ladies and gents, welcome back to An Asian Guy and Irish Girl Talk. We are back on our usual podcast. I'm the Asian guy from the sunny island of Singapore.
The Irish girl from the sunny island of Ireland right now.
Is it sunny over there?
It is, and I don't know why. I'm not complaining. It's
yeah, I know. It's
nice.
A good thing, right?
Yeah, it's a nice change.
All right, so today we're going to begin our podcast with a little topic on mental health. Now, what you're probably expecting from me is to talk about the importance of mental health and things like that, but no. Actually, we're going to go into a slightly controversial discussion because quite recently, you know, in the streaming world, I've seen a lot of streamers claim to have mental health issues. The problem is that their actions and their words don't often mesh. And that's a genuine fact, folks. You know, I'm sorry that I'm taking this part solo, you know, honey. But
go ahead.
I gotta say, realistically speaking, several of these people, you know, okay, drawing from my own personal experience, and I'm sure the experiences that, you know, our lovely Irish girl has gone through, when you are having mental health crises or issues, in general, I don't think you want to blabber them to the world. Rather, you sort of withdraw within yourself. You know? Is that the case that's been with you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, the way I see it is, if you are a genuine mental health sufferer, you might talk about it sporadically, you know, to your chat, or, you know, if somebody brings it up in your chat, you might have a conversation about it with them. But typically for people with mental health issues, depression, anxiety, all the rest of it, it's exactly like you said, you tend to withdraw. You know, you tend to keep that to yourself because you don't want to push it out there, because you don't want other people to feel like you do.
Or, you know, not just them feeling like you do, but also, to be perfectly honest, I think that another important and major facet of the whole thing is that you don't really want the situation to be where people know your stuff. You know, we just want to be left alone and in peace. And that actually is where a lot of my personal irritation with the recent situation comes from, because I've seen a lot of people who constantly use mental health as an issue to grab attention, which demeans the value of the whole thing for everyone else, for people that are genuinely suffering with issues, you know? And I hate that, because it becomes harder for genuine sufferers to even talk about it, because they wouldn't want their people to see them as attention seekers. Because I'll tell you, for the real sufferers, when they see these people faking it, and it's so obvious that they're faking it, right? You know, it becomes harder to talk to your chat with people you trust about it, because you don't want to be seen as a faker. You want to be seen as somebody who's not real.
It's not even so much that you don't want to be seen as someone who isn't real. I think it's more of, now that people use it so willy-nilly, and they use it as a way to make people feel sorry for them, so that they'll go to their stream. They do it for clout. You know, as soon as something goes wrong, straight away it's, I was in a really dark place. No, they're excuses. That's not you showing people or talking to people about how you suffer from mental health. That's you using a mental health experience or a mental health diagnosis that maybe you know someone else has, as a reason for you to have and to explain away shitty behavior.
You know, I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's a way of them trying to explain away shitty behavior. Like, a lot of them will it's a very toddler tantrum type mentality recently, especially with the few streamers that we've known of or who have interactions with in the past. One of the biggest issues recently, and you know, I bring this up because I found it very. Oh, sorry, the feedback's a little bit. Could you just yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Is it gone?
Yep, okay. It's gone now. Yeah. So the thing is, right? One of the biggest issues that I've had. In fact, you know, let's talk about this in context here. The Irish girl and I, you know, We obviously don't have like super premium studio equipment, things like that. We make do, you know, but that's because we don't want to push funding issues onto our fan base. You know, we're happy if they pay us, but you know, at the moment right now, we're more than happy just to have viewership or the listeners. You know, that to us is important. But some of these people, they don't see it this way. You know, as soon as like they'll set like some sub goal for themselves. You know, and then they'll have like maybe one good stream where like their one big supporter drops a huge bomb, gift bomb on them, you know, whatever. And they'll feel motivated for like 2-3 days. Then that drops off. Oh, whoa, sorry, that one. Yeah, no, I just need you to say something every now and again because I don't know why. Yeah, it's popping a lot today. But I think it's just the weather, you know, because it's rainy in Singapore.
Yes, there's literally nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Like I said, just make a noise every so often because that somehow.
It's going. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I think, yeah, the only downside is that probably the weather in Singapore because, you know, just sidetracked a little bit. The weather in Singapore right now is fucking rainy. It has been rainy. Nice. Pardon?
It's so nice to swap weather with you for once.
I like the rain though.
I know, but it's nice to have a sunny, warm day here. Is my point.
I'm glad you can have the sunny, warm day. Me, I like it when, you know, you've got that heavy rain and I just listen to it outside the window. Oof.
So do I. It's best reading weather.
It ain't reading. Well, okay, technically it is reading for me, you know. I mean, I know we sidetrack a little bit, but that's my manga reading weather, you know.
Reading is reading. Yeah, I like curling up with a book of coffee, and having the window open, fire crackling on the telly. Perfect. Anyway, let's get back to
fire crackling on the what?
On the telly.
That's what I thought I heard. I was like, what, fire crackling on the what?
There's a great there's just so many different types of weather that you can listen to on.
I know what you're talking about, but that's why I expected like full fire crackling on the hearth or whatever, like a different word, not the telly. I was like, okay.
No, we do have a real fire downstairs, but like everybody's downstairs, and you know me, I read upstairs on my own. So
yeah, I know that. But yes,
fires on TV.
Yes, getting back to the topic though, you know, like I was saying, what had actually happened was that recently we had this fellow, and I was talking about the motivation because they'd have like one really good stream where like maybe one of their longtime supporters or whatever dropped a sub bomb on them, you know, and they had a really good day. Then they'll set a huge sub goal for themselves. Now, here's the thing. They should be celebrating the fact that somebody believes in them enough that they want to drop even that one big bomb, right? But instead of celebrating it, they get greedy and set a huge goal for themselves. And then they don't meet that goal. And then the second they don't meet that goal, it's all like, oh, you know, I can't do it anymore. I gotta quit. You know,
no one watches me. I'm doing this for no reason. I hate sitting there and having no one in my chat.
Yeah, it's like this whole pity party thing. And, you know, they'll say like, oh, I suffer from depression or this and that, you know, because my wife left me and I've been sad since then. Like, bro, you know, this is not going to sound very good, but I'm just going to say it anyway because I don't give a fuck. And I think many of my listeners would just love to hear this come out of my mouth. But quite frankly, I'm pretty sure that's the reason she left you, bro. Just saying. Just putting it out there. You know, if you were this whiny in your relationship, I'm pretty sure that's the reason she ditched your ass.
Right. I have a slightly different take in that I can understand someone being upset and somewhat depressed when, you know, a family life breaks down and if there's kids or if there's not kids involved or pets or whatever the case may be. I can understand somebody being disheartened and, you know, still wanting to stream and talking about it on stream when it first happens. I understand that. But if it's a year later and you haven't moved on and your chat hasn't grown and your topic of conversation is all doom and gloom, then the problem isn't people aren't coming and chatting to you. It's people don't want to fucking listen to you bitch and moan anymore. They are moving on to other content creators who are making them feel good, who are offering a good time.
And that's exactly the nail on the head, you know. I know I used that expression wrong, sounded like Yoda there for a moment, but that is exactly, you know, hitting the nail on the fucking head. You know, people don't want to hear you bitch and moan for a year about your failed relationship that happened a year ago. Listen, probably she has already moved on, gotten herself a new man, new kicks, whatever, you know, and you still sitting here, being yourself. Like, man.
Right. And to bring that back to topic then, it's the case of you're still using the fact that you're sad about your relationship not ending as a reason for you to feel the way that you feel, yet you're not doing anything to change how you feel. You're talking about it to your chat. And the problem is when someone says to you, oh God, like, or if someone brings up a conversation close to you where you think they might be, you know, maybe subtweeting about you or whatever, and they're talking about the fact that you have no viewers or that they don't like sitting in your chat, you cannot then use mental health as your explanation as to why you are in the position that you're in. It may be a contributing factor to your situation, but when you turn on that live button and you go live and you stream, are you streaming because you want to get famous from streaming? Are you streaming because you just enjoy playing games? Are you streaming because, you know, you wanted to interact with other people who enjoy watching streamers? Because if those are the reasons that you started streaming, then your mental health has nothing to do with your streaming.
In fact, mental health, actually, you know, streaming is a great way of mental relief. At least for me.
Absolutely.
I mean, y'all all know me as a streamer. Y'all. I mean, myself and Kaz, we are a gaming couple. We're almost always together. The times when you see me solo, you know, for those that might listen to this podcast without any context, I'm the real Asian robot. Yeah. So, you may see me solo, but I'll still be on my grind. I'll still be on my games. That's my personal time, whatever. You know, the fact of the matter is, we do it because, I mean, yes, let's be honest. I want to make money from streaming. I want to make it my life. I want to make it my income. I want to make it something that I do full time, and I'm already on that full time grind. But what I really see in a lot of these people is that they do not seem to understand the simple fact that if you want to create content, if you want to create content, you want to be a streamer, you want to really do things right, then the first and most important thing that you need to do, is look at yourself and say, am I at all satisfied with what I'm doing? Or am I just sitting here because I want to make a bunch of money? And then I'll set myself this fucking huge ass sub goal thinking everybody's going to contribute to it. And then I'll give them some shitty prize at the end, you know, just because I want the money. To me, that's all it is. And when they don't hit it, it's straight into the pity mode, mental health. Oh, you know, it's suffering. Why aren't you watching me? Why aren't you subbing to me? Like, they can't be real even for a second. That's what grinds my gears, because it takes away from the people who are really suffering.
Definitely. And I think that on the other spectrum of that, you have people out there who are streamers who say, I'm an advocate for mental health. Mm-hmm. And they don't advocate for mental health whatsoever. What they do is they tear people down in the background. They online, it looks like they're these great people. And we know from firsthand that some of these people who say that they're out there for mental health and that they're your friend and they're this, that, and the other, they're not. What they do is they wait. They wait until something unfortunate happens to you, and then they use that as a topic of conversation to talk about you to other people on stream and off stream. That's not advocating for anybody's mental health. What you're doing is you're tearing down someone's mental health in order to make you feel better, in order for you to have something to talk about on your stream. And if you have to use that as a topic of conversation for your stream, then it shows how boring you are that you have to talk about other people in order to pull people in. But again, what I want to reiterate is the fact that you, by somebody doing that, saying they're a mental health advocate, talking about other streamers in a negative aspect on their own stream and behind closed doors to other people who may know this particular streamer, what you're doing is you are tearing down their mental health.
And you're exactly right on that. And you know what I want to add to that? What I want to majorly add to that, big time, is that this also flows into our second topic of the day, which we're probably going to bring out in a while, which is racism. A lot of these people, they will talk like, oh yeah, I support other people's mental health, or I support, seeing other people rise up. Don't be jealous of others. You should support each other, rise up, and all have these goals together. But as soon as it's somebody out of their little circle that's making it, or making moves, or making the right moves, or shining like a star, they will go to tear that person down, especially if that person is not of their race. And, I hate to say this, and I've hated saying this since last night on my stream when we first thought about bringing this up as a topic, because I have a lot of friends across the board. I've got friends that are Caucasian. In fact, my primary group of friends is Caucasian. Hey, Gussie, good morning to you. We are doing a podcast right now, so feel free to chime in at any time. So Gussie Marie, a longtime friend of ours, said good morning. I love you guys. So she's a very nice person.
Love you too, Gussie.
Hell yes. And what, just bringing it back, so to give context to what we're saying as well, Gussie just said Kaz heart. Oh wait, you've got the chat up, don't you?
I don't. I will now, though. I will send you some hearts now, Gussie. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so one thing which I'll say is that just to bring everybody up to speed, we're talking about the abuse of the mental health status by other streamers, and also about the racism in the current streaming industry, because these people who, as we were saying, tear down other people's mental health often will say on the surface that they are supporters of mental health. They will say on the surface that they are supporters of, movements that promote and support other people, people of color, such as BLM, things like that. But, and I use my own self as an example, the second that it was an Asian man choosing to rap, the second that it was an Asian man shining, making content, being funny, doing all these voice impressions and things like that, the second it was a guy from Asia being an Asian man, yet having the ability to, appreciate other cultural aspects such as rap music and rap culture. And as I've often said on stream, Tupac Shakur was one of my major inspirations for rap. Eminem was another big inspiration. As soon as it's an Asian man doing these things, these people are the first to step up and create exclusive circles. And why do I say they create exclusive circles? It's because that is exactly what they do. They will pull together, they will pull ranks together and say, okay, all of us are of a particular subtype. We're all the same here. Okay, we are all streamers, yes, but this Asian guy's doing more than anybody else. So listen, what we got to do is we got to band together and exclude him. So, but we will band together. We will band together and support each other and circle jerk, and that way we can look like we've got more than him, and he will fall by the wayside, and after that, then we can go back to squabbling amongst each other. It's like uniting against a common enemy. I had no idea I was an anime overlord villain. I mean, it's
the one I always live by when it comes to specific things, and streaming is definitely one of them, with the exclusion of some amazing people that we've met, like Gussie. Because everybody is your friends until you become their competition. Now, I say that, but I do exclude a certain amount of people who are extremely supportive, regardless of whether they're bigger than you or they're smaller than you. They don't see numbers. They don't see any of that. What they see is a person making fantastic content and going out and putting that content out there. And I appreciate those people so much. But for the majority, they are your friend until you become their competition. The second they see you stepping ahead of them, you're the one that needs to be taken down. When in reality, you could be the one that helps to elevate them.
And that has actually been something that I thought was not only relevant, but also marginally upsetting. Because in the past, and talking about this, I am a former Mixer partner. Okay, Mixer is long gone, long dead. Now I'm carving my own path on Twitch, and I'm very happy with that. You know, I don't look at viewership numbers. I don't care, because I am here to do my thing and to share myself with the world. I don't rely on a particular number on Twitch at any given night. There could be 4 people there, there could be 12 people there. It does not matter to me. What matters to me is that I'm bringing good content. If somebody wants to come by, watch, and, you know, get involved with that, that's good. You know, thank you, Gussie Marie, for saying that this is a good topic. It is a good topic because a lot of people don't talk about it. They're so scared to talk about it, but I'm not scared because I've got no obligations to anyone. I'm an Asian man making it on my own 2 feet, and I have no qualms about bringing the facts and the truth about this to light. And that is why, you know, there are good communities out there. In fact, I'll tell you guys right now on this podcast, Gussie Marie has one of the most fantastic communities out there on World of Warcraft, on several other games. You know, she's always streaming with her friends. It is a good time, and that's the kind of community that I want people to go into. What I do not want to see for my fellow streamers and for other streaming communities is the circle jerking mentality that brings nothing but sorrow. Let me tell you right now. And Gussie knows what we've been through, so we're not going to talk about this whole thing because we're not here to dredge up the past. But what I will say is I will use the past as an example, as an exemplar of what happens now. Back when Mixer fell, I was a streamer with over 100 viewers per day. Mixer partner. I made Mixer partner in the month that they sold off Mixer to Facebook Gaming. I'm very sad for myself. But coming to Twitch opened my eyes because Mixer was a whole bunch of follow for follow. It was a whole bunch of leaving tabs up for people. You could have 70 people and not a single one chatting. Yes, you get a lot of ember drops and things like that, but that's only because people wanted your raids. That's only because people wanted your support or your tab, or to have a famous name, tweet them out or something like that. That was what it was. When all that collapsed and I came to Twitch and I started over, it was funny how 90% of people immediately left my ass because they saw there was no more tab for tab, you know, so they couldn't be seen in my chat. They couldn't be seen with the Asian man. So what is the first thing they do? They turn on you. And these same people who started the circle jerk thinking that, okay, we can do the same thing that we did on Mixer on Twitch now, except that instead of lifting up the Asian man, you know, because he's no longer special, we're gonna lift each other up in these little circles and then, you know, see him get completely destroyed because now he's got no funding, no fame, nothing. Okay, fine. What happened is that those people, just to give you an example number, this is not their actual viewership, okay? They was at 4 viewers with their circle jerking, 4 regular viewers 1 year ago. It's been a year. I can open a window and I still see them at 4. Whereas for us, times would be when we would have 2 or 3, times would be when we would have 20. But what matters is that we're always meeting new people. Just recently, I had been raided by a fantastic dude called The Ultimate Ratio for playing Magic Legends. He was trying to raise up the community. He's raided me with over 30 people. He's raided me with over 100 people. And there are fresh people that you meet every time. I've met people through him. And this is the kind of difference because you're meeting new people. Whereas these other people who band together, they do not have content, so they haven't met anybody new. Because if they had, they would not still be sitting on the same numbers that they were at 6 months ago.
I guess that also comes down to, and it's one of the reasons why I like Gussie Marie and her channel so much, is because, like us, she doesn't stick to the same game every single day. Now, I know we get stuck on the game for a little while, but when I'm not around, like, you're playing all these other types of games. So for me, like, when I'm here, I know we kind of tend to stick to 1 or 2 games. But at the same time, like, Gussie has a great schedule of, like, I think it's like World of Warcraft Wednesdays, and then she has other games for other days. So people know what to expect from Gussie, right? She has a schedule of different games that she plays. And that's the thing, if you're only playing 1 game all the time, then all you're going to get is the I mean, this is going to sound horrible, I don't mean it to be, but you're going to get the dregs from that one particular game who haven't found that one streamer that they want to sit and watch full time yet, because the bigger streamers will have a solidified, united
community,
crazy fan base who will, the second they go live, jump straight into their channel. It doesn't matter who else is live. They won't go, to another stream, but they'll stay on their stream. And the problem is, if when they go to watch you and you're playing that game and you're moaning about this, that, the other, your marriage isn't working, this is failing, that's failing, and all they're hearing is you talking about stuff that's failing, you are already sending them back off to somebody else.
That's exactly right. You see, and that brings the whole topic full circle. And why we talked about it is because there's so many people out there who, number one, thank you for saying it's the truth, Gussie, who, number one, say, okay, they use mental health as an excuse for, being upset about low viewership, being upset about not getting subs, things like that. But that is not advocating for mental health. That is using and abusing mental health as a means of getting yourself something from other people. They want something from other people, and that's why they're using it. And that's what I don't like, because it makes it harder for people who are really suffering. When I have my bad mental health days, you will just see me not be on social media. But y'all would never know that, because I've never once tweeted about it. Because I tell you, when you are in that frame of mind, the last thing you want to do is even talk to somebody. I don't even want to talk to my parents when I feel upset. When I feel genuinely depressed and down, which is very rare, because you all know me. I'm a very hardcore self-motivated person, but it doesn't mean I don't have my low points, which is why I know exactly how it feels to really crash. I've had times when I just haven't even felt like going live, and I had to talk to Kaz for like half an hour before I even clicked that button. But once I click that button, you can expect a show. You can expect a show the second I click that button, because I will not sit here and say, I am upset, I am sad, I'm having a bad day, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's coming to my stream to hear that. People are coming to my stream to hang out with me, have a good time, maybe hear some facts, maybe hear some rapping, but they're not here to hear me whine. They're not here to have a bad time, because what if they're having a bad time? I'm here to entertain them. I'm here to lift them up. I'm not here to bring them down. But that is why I know so well that when you are in that dark place, you do not want to talk to anybody. You do not want anybody to talk to you.
And the thing is, right, so I definitely have those days where, like, if you're not around or you're in bed and, I'm going through a low point, there are certain people that I do watch. And I will say this, I have stopped watching the majority of the people that I follow for the reasons we've talked about today. There are a handful of people that I still go to. I very rarely chat in anyone's chat anymore. And it's just because when I'm in that mindset, I'd much rather just lie down and watch and have them bring me back up. So there's 4 people I watch continuously who might not even realise that I'm sitting there watching. One is definitely Gussie Marie, because if I'm having a really bad day and I just go and watch the shenanigans that's going on in her channel, by the end of her stream, or by the time I've had enough and I'm ready to fall asleep, I feel so much better, because it is genuinely like sitting down at a table with a group of friends just having a good time. That's just how I feel about her channel. If I'm having a day where I maybe don't want to be entertained, but what I want is chill time, I go to Wiggle Room, who does art on stream. Now, I might chat to Wiggle Room because I like talking to people, but I think Wiggle Room, just from conversations that me and Wiggle Room have had over the last year or so, he understands where I'm at and he gets me. So talking to Wiggle Room maybe about a couple of things is a little bit easier than other people. But even still, 90% of the time I don't chat in this chat. If I'm in one of them humours and I don't really know what I want to do and I don't know how I feel, Creepers. I go to Creepers and I watch him absolutely annihilate and dominate in Paladins. Again, I never say anything in the chat. I might say hello or whatever, and then I'm gone again, and I just literally sit back and watch the shenanigans happen. And if I'm in a funny humour and no one's around, or I want to be part of like a good group of people and I just want to be able to sit back and chill and enjoy what I'm watching, I go to Syndicate. But again, very rarely speak in anybody's chat. but they are the type of people that I go to for the different reasons that I have, for the different emotions that I feel on a particular day, right? I don't go into someone's stream and I don't sit there like, oh my God, I feel so bad today, blah, blah, blah. Or what I certainly don't want to happen is to go to someone's stream who I think is playing the game that I might be interested in, to hear them moan. Now, I'm not saying you can't talk about issues that are going on. We do it all the time. Of course, you can talk about issues if you're having a constructive conversation. But if someone goes to your channel and you're on a downer, right? And it used to happen to me too when I did stream. You'd go in, you're on a downer, you feel shit. People come in, you can't help but tell people that you feel shit. And people then end up either leaving the stream, they'll make excuses to leave, they'll say, I'll be back in a minute, and they don't turn back up. Or, you know, they'll start to tell you how, you know, what's going on in their life. And it's great because it kind of takes it off you for a minute. But then I find, as a person who suffers with depression and anxiety, I will take what they're telling me and apply it to my life and go, oh my God, that happens to me too. Which makes your mental health and that down bubble that you're in already, it makes you sink further. So what I did was I said, okay, streaming is not for me, because I can't help but take other people's emotions and feel them. So if someone's having a great day, I'll feel great for them. If someone is having a great day, then somebody else comes in and they're having a bad day, I start to get mixed feelings. I didn't know where to place myself. I didn't know where to take the next topic of conversation. So I just said, you know what, this actually isn't for me. I enjoy playing games. I like playing with you on stream. I like having a good time. But what people don't want is to walk into someone's stream that they may not know and hear nothing but negativity, because the second they hear that, it's going to bring them down and it's going to make them walk out. Especially if it's not a topic of conversation that you're going to move away from quite quickly. Yep. And I think a lot of people then use the fact that people have said things like, I'll be back in a minute, and they don't turn up, or, you know, I just have to go for 5 minutes, or they just dip. And then all of a sudden it's, oh my God, people aren't watching me, I'm terrible, I have to quit streaming because it's my mental health. No, it's not your mental health. What it is the content you're creating is the same content as everybody else. There are 500 people out there on any given day doing exactly what you're doing at the same time you're doing it, and probably doing it better. You need to find ways that show your personality, show who you are, but make it different. Make your content different. Do something different. Add to it. You know, like you can on any given day go into Gussie's channel, go into Wiggleworm's channel, and do and say almost whatever you want, but without their personalities and without them being able to combat anything that kind of comes their way, that stream would be a very different stream. But I know from sitting on the stream with Gussie Marie, you know, I've seen people come in and say certain things, or I've seen people kind of act out in a way, and she's so quick to shut them down, but she does it in such a way that doesn't leave anybody feel like they've just been stung. So you're not kind of going, Jesus, I'm not going back to her channel. It's always done in such a respectful manner that you go, okay, fair enough. You know, I'm gonna stick around.
You know, that actually should be a skill that I should probably pick up, because nah, man, I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, straight up. I gotta say that, you know, that's I think one key difference between myself and anybody else.
But I think that the what's the word I'm looking for now? The experience that you have as a streamer is what enables you to do certain things. And I think from the experiences that you specifically have had in the last year is why you do it differently. And I don't for 1 second say that you should change how you specifically do it.
Relax. You don't have to big me up. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm saying that you are well within your right to treat the people who come in and say certain things in your channel the way that you do, because of the experience that you've had as a streamer.
No, I get that. But what I also want to, you know, like bring out, I think, for people to understand, and this is a key thing, because we are on the topic of it, you know. I think that me personally, as a streamer, and this is just to give a different perspective, I have a very different attitude to it. I do not hold any shred of respect for anybody until they prove themselves to me. You prove yourself to me, I will respect you to the end of the earth. But when you haven't proved yourself, or if I see a certain type of behavior in a person, I will pay zero attention to you. I will be borderline polite, but you will catch my feelings so quickly that you will walk right back out because I do not even want you there. You know, and I have no qualms about saying it this way because there are some people, and you know, like Kaz was saying, but I think, you know, I should be the one to say this part, you know. There are people who literally still only come to my channel sometimes because they seeking clout. They'll say 2 things and then they're gone. Or they'll say 2 things, talk about something else, and then you see that they've gone live like 2 minutes later. What did they think was gonna happen? They show themselves in my chat and then they go live, promote themselves in my Discord, which I allow. Not that that's a bad thing. But did you think that everybody was gonna just hop over to you? That's not how that works. That is not how it will work for any streamer, because a streamer's community that they have built up is there for them. Just because Gussie brings me some people doesn't mean that if she goes live, those people are gonna stick around for me. No, that's her community, and that is something that a lot of people do not understand. When a streamer brings you a raid, he is giving you like a showcase. You know, he's giving you like a taste, and that is your 5 seconds to impress maybe one person in their community who might give you a view every now and again. But it is not the fact that his community is going to go to you. And a lot of streamers misunderstand that. A lot of streamers think, oh, I've gotten a few 100 people raids, you know, I'm going to be a big superstar. No, you're not. 2 days later, you're going to be back on the same 3 people. But you should be respecting those 3 people because those are your community and you got to build them up. Gussie Marie just shared something with us. She said, it has taken me 6 years. You know, I used to get so upset and hurt if someone trolled you on stream. Now, years later, you got thicker skin. You know, try to turn trolls into returning community members. Some are worth saving, some are not worth the time.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But it's only through experience and the fact that you stuck it out that you were able to find the tools within yourself to fix that. And most people don't stick it out. And that's exactly the point. People don't stick it out. They get trolled a couple of times and they're gone. They say, no, that's bad for my mental health.
Either that or they want like the immediate gratification, you know?
Yeah. Whereas they would rather bitch and moan about the fact that this happened. I mean, I've been trolled many times, and I laughed my ass off when it happened. I wouldn't ban them from my channel when it happened. I would literally leave them there when it started happening to Rob. I'd be like, don't leave him there, because it was the same guy. I can't remember his name now, but it was the same guy who used to come every single day. Remember, he'd be like, the prophet, whatever it was, and he ended up turning into a really nice guy. And I think he's in the mixer days anyway. But the point is, if you can't find the tools within yourself and to be able to combat that kind of thing, then this space isn't for you in the first place.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to stick it out, if it's not your dream and it's not something that you want to do and you're literally doing it because you think you're going to make money and get famous, then you are going to be run away from every single platform so quick, because it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you do. If you do not change the mentality that you already have with regards to how you deal with people and how you can combat certain topics or how you can entertain people, then what's the point? Because if you're only doing it for clout and money, then I'm sorry, there's no clout and money in this.
Yep. In fact, having content in the first place is so difficult, because how do you make yourself unique? I have carved a niche for myself as the Eastern rap god, but it has taken so long for me to get the skills to freestyle. Just the other day, I actually impressed myself on stream. Kaz, I talked to her about it after we clicked off the live button, but you know, I was so impressed that I was able to freestyle on stream. And it was like a coherent rap. I even managed to put in some fast bits into that. You know, none of it was pre-planned. And that is all the practice that I've done, because I've been writing my raps every single day. I've been rhyming every single day with a dictionary in front of me, you know? Literally, if you don't practice, you do not get good. But a lot of these people, they don't want to put in the time. They do not want to put in the effort. They just want it easy. And when it's not easy, they throw a hissy fit. And that is exactly the problem. That is exactly the big problem that we're having right now, which is why I can recognize when somebody is just coming to me to get clout. It is so easy to see that. All right, and immediately, I think maybe some of them, and I hope some of them can actually like feel it out, because I will pay zero attention to them. I'll be like, oh yeah, hey, and that's it. But the way I greet an actual viewer, or more importantly, somebody that has actually supported me, you know, fed my family and things like that, I will treat them like they are like super close family. That's okay, because you feel free to lurk, you know, have a listen. Like I said, it's a podcast for everybody, you know, it's all good. I will treat them like they're very close family. I will definitely give them that attention, because you know, I mean, what you put in is what you get. If you want that level of attention from a streamer, then you have to support them. And when you have supported them in that way, then yes, you will get that level of attention. But when you're just coming to me for the clout, or thinking you're gonna get something out of me, then that's wrong. And that's where I will say no.
And I think people also misconstrue the word support also. Support doesn't mean that somebody has to be in your stream every single time you go live.
Mm-hmm.
Support is, it could mean that one person might only have 2 hours in the week where they can watch Twitch, and you're the person that they choose to watch.
Yeah.
So when they come into your channel and they spend that time with you, that's the time to recognize them, so that they understand, okay, they know that I'm here every now and again. They know I can only spend a certain amount of time in their channel. You know, you recognize that person, especially if you see their name, because you do start to recognize people's names. You know, you recognize when people turn up and when they don't turn up. You recognize when a regular viewer views you at the same time every single week. Like, you get to know people in this business. And if you expect every single person who follows you to be at your show every single time you go live, and they don't turn up, and then you get pissy and moany because you've got, you know, maybe 50 followers but only 2 people are turning up, well, those 2 people who turned up are the 2 people on your list who follow you, who have the time at that moment when you've decided to go live to be there. So fucking entertain them.
That is exactly right. That is exactly right. You know,
yeah, it's like, don't worry about the 48 that didn't turn up, because they're not there. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about them. Worry about the 2 people who are sitting there watching. Make sure those 2 people are entertained. And I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. Those 2 people who are there, if they have a good time in your stream, are going to talk to other people about you. They're going to be like, oh my God, I had such a great time with this person's stream. You should definitely, you know, check them out. And then, you know, if that person says that to 10 people and 2 people turn up, then that's 4 people who are now watching your stream. And those 4 people will then, if they have a good time, start to talk to other people. And slowly you will grow with people who actively want to view your stream. But if those 2 people are watching your stream and you're sitting there bitching and moaning about the 48 who didn't turn up, those 2 people are like, well, why am I here? Why am I sitting listening to this? And then you've lost the 2 people who were watching.
Mm-hmm. That was a very passionate speech delivered right there.
Because I just, do you know what it is? It's the word support kills me, because it has so many different meanings to so many different people. But for me, when applied in this context with regards to streaming, it doesn't mean having to, because I mean, I follow 800-900 people. I don't have there's only one of me. I can't watch 800 or 900 people all at once. Mm-hmm. So I go to the people that I enjoy spending time with.
Yep.
Who I know I'm going to be entertained watching.
Yep. And what I'll say is that, you know, on the topic of support, I'll definitely give some real examples here. Let's talk some real talk. I've got a friend called Riot Stream. All right, if you guys don't know him, you should definitely check him out. This guy, he may not be like at my stream every day, that's for sure, because he's got his own stream, he's got his own wife and kid to handle, he's got his own life. But the 1 or 2 times that he does turn up, you know, he raids me, or he gives me like some, you know, some real good conversation. And he recently bought some of my merchandise. You know, I'm not saying that I pay attention to this man because he spent on me. You know, I'm saying that is genuinely what support is about. It's about that guy that's cheering for you in the background. He may not be there every day, but he's genuinely on your side, thinking you're a great content creator. And similarly, I have a friend who, before I even blew up on Mixer, before anything, it was literally just me, him, and Kaz in chat. This man's called Judas Daycott, you know, coming forward almost 2 years now, this dude like recently dropped a sub bomb on me, and he was never like a big spender on me or anything like that, but recently he did, and it wasn't because he needed my support back or he needed me for anything. In fact, I said, like, in a almost serious manner to him, I said, man, I owe you for this. And he said, you don't owe me anything. That line stuck with me, because that is genuinely what support is about. It's when you care about somebody's content and you really want to give them some love. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not there every day. What matters is that you genuinely care about their content and you want them to be better, and that you want to continue seeing them entertain the world and things like that. That's what support's about. But people forget that. Thing is, if you can't pull in a crowd no matter what you're doing, then you need to reassess yourself. You need to reassess whether your content is bringing anything to the people that are listening. Let's talk facts right now. I'm known for playing Space Lords right now, and Magic Legends, and occasionally Paladins. I'm doing a podcast right now, which I've only done once before with Kaz, and we got 7 people sitting here watching. Okay, I don't look at viewer numbers normally, but I just want to talk about this because it's real. All right? If people were stuck on me as a content creator for one game, then we wouldn't even have 7 now. We would have 1. And that'd be Gussie Marie just side-earing us, while she prepares for her day. And I'd still be thankful for that 1. But the fact of the matter is, this is the legitimate proof that if you do have content, that people are gonna come and listen. So work on your content, work on yourself. Don't use mental health as an excuse. Don't band together and try to exclude somebody or take somebody down, because that's not improving you. That's making you a worse person and a worse streamer, which is what so many of these people have done in the past and are still doing right now. Now, I know I'm rushing a little bit, and that's because our podcast's gone on way too long, but it's such an important topic that both Kaz and I have had to express ourselves immensely. Now, Kaz, do you have any closing comments?
I just want to say, at the end of all of this, if anything that we have said has made you feel some type of way, especially if you feel like we're taking a dig at anyone, we're not. What we're trying to do is make people understand that in the world of streaming, you do not get famous the very first time you go live. You might not get famous 5 years after going live. You might not get famous 10 years after. You might never get famous from doing this. But do it for you. Don't do it because you're expecting to get big or you're expecting to be paid an awful lot of money, because that's the whole reason you shouldn't do it.
Exactly.
But if playing games with a community of people, even if it's only 1 or 2 people, and putting yourself out there and talking to people and getting to know people, if that's the reason you're doing it, keep going. Find something that just makes you slightly different to everybody else. Hone in on that and make it yours. And just keep pushing.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And if you do feel like we're taking a dig at you or something like that, leave a comment on YouTube when you see this up. Or leave a comment on Soundcloud when you see this up. All right? I've still got to put the previous ones up there. But, the point is, wherever you're listening to us, if you feel something, write it to us. Oh. Let's talk about it. Okay? Now, for those of you on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we're probably going to be filming our next one very soon. And for those of you on other platforms, don't forget to follow, because there's going to be more of the Asian guy and Irish girl. I'm definitely going to drag her on with me for another topic on Monday. That's for sure.
Yes.
All right. But for now, thank you all so much for listening, and we'll see you all in the next one.